Hey, it's your boy DX, man. Welcome back to the One of One Sports Podcast. It's been a few weeks since I recorded one of these episodes because I've been going to games and stuff like that. And then if the Giants lose, it just take me out my mood. And I really don't be wanting to talk about it. So we're going to start off. Yesterday night, I watched the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game went into overtime, which the Falcons ended up winning, I believe, 37-31. It was just a crazy game. I'm talking going back and forth. Baker Mayfield and Matt Ryan, they both was on fire. They could not be stopped. Neither defense was able to get like key stops, and it was crazy because the Buccaneers had like a key interception towards the end of the fourth quarter, and the Falcons also forced a key fumble down there too, right before that interception, and it was just like those was like the first key defensive stops the whole game. Like the offenses was on fire. Baker Mayfield hit Mike Evans for a couple touchdowns in the first half. I think Mike Evans is like the sixth player in NFL history to have like 100 career touchdowns or something like that, which is crazy. Mike Evans don't get enough credit. He's been elite for so long. He's been one of the best receivers in the league consistently for years that don't get talked about. You know what I mean? Like he deserves more media coverage than what he get because he don't talk a lot or whatever the case may be. He just go out there and make plays. So he ain't flashy. He don't dance. He don't do none of that. He just scores touchdowns, get a ball back to the referee, and do it all over again year after year after year, no matter who at quarterback. He just keep making plays. Kirk Cousins is starting to come into his own. When I watched the free agency moves in the offseason, I thought the Atlanta Falcons was going to be a very good team just based off the moves that they made. I'm just like, yo, the Falcons putting something together. I said this like, I seen one of my tweets the other day. It was like March 23rd, 2023 is when I said this during a free agency period, which is before the Falcons even played a game. And I keep saying like the Falcons are one of them teams that's going to be hard to beat late in the season. The first 1 to 3 weeks of the season, people were overreacting about certain teams. There were certain teams that started off 1-2 and were struggling out the gate. And then everybody was writing them off like, see, man, they look terrible. They overrated. And I'm like, yo, it's a marathon. It's 17 games in a season. So I just don't see how you can judge a team off the first 2-3 weeks of football. Kirk Cousins was just coming back off a torn ACL, coming from Minnesota to Atlanta. And everybody just expected them to gel right away. They have Drake London, who's very good. But other than that, they have like receivers who was like receiver 3, receiver 4, receiver 5s elsewhere. That's like his main receivers now. Darnell Mooney is going crazy. He looked like a completely different receiver from when he was in Chicago. Then you also have Ray McLeod, who was like mainly a special teams player with the 49ers. He's out there in a slot just going crazy. Rondell Moore getting injured really messed up what could have been like an even more explosive offense, because you got to think they have Kyle Pitts, who was a high draft pick a couple years ago, Bijan Robinson, who was a high draft pick a couple years ago, and I just feel like they misusing Bijan and Kyle Pitts as well. They're not using them to their full potential. To invest those high of draft picks and players, I think they were like what, the 7th and 8th pick, respectfully, in both their drafts or something like that. So it was like to use that high a pick on players and treat them like role players and they're not vocal points of your offense. I think that's a misusage by the Falcons. And I think Kirk Cousins said last night during the game that their offensive coordinator is a first-time play caller. So it does make sense. But it seems like in Bijan's first 2 years, no coordinator wants to use him the right way. And I know the running back behind him, 25, Tyler Alliger, or however you say his name. I know he's a very effective running back, but he ain't Bijan Robinson. You don't draft a running back that high to not use him, you know. So they got to get that together. But the Falcons going to be a very hard team to beat late in the season. Now, to get to a part right here, I haven't really, interviewed anybody yet. Or dropped it. I did one interview, but that still hasn't came out yet, or whatever the case may be. But got somebody special sitting right next to me, or somebody who think he's special. You know what I mean? But this is Twin right here. You know what I mean? It's my little bro. Introduce yourself. Tell him who you is. You know what I mean? So who are you?
What's up, y'all? I'm Deon. It's a young
Deon,
brother.
Deon who though?
Deon Williams.
All right, you know what I mean? Let them know who you is so they can put some respect on your name, you know what I mean? Hi, I'm Deon. He don't talk like that. I don't know what's wrong with him, why he trying to act like that. He don't act like that. He trying to sit. Hi, I'm Deon. Trying to act modest and shit. This nigga be cussing like a motherfucker. This nigga mouth is filthy. Like, don't fall for this. I don't know if he just a little nervous or whatever the case may be, but he fronting right now. Like, you know what I mean? But that's good though that you could switch up like that. You know what I mean? Because there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My childhood dog back there, he the one making the noise. This nigga been alive my whole life, and hopefully it stay that way. He old as hell. Like, when I was younger than him, I don't even remember how old I was when we got this dog, and he's still going. You know what I mean? So hopefully he keep going. He making mad noise right now. I don't know what his problem is. Whatever. But going to his game last week, so little bro wanted to start the season a couple weeks late. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. Nigga just woke up one morning. He just woke up one morning and said, I want to play football this year. I don't know what happened with that because he played previously the last 2 years it was, right?
Yeah.
He played the last 2 years, and then this year he did like no training. He did come to me like, yo, I want to work on this. I want to do this. Like nothing. Like I just came to pick him up from school one day, and the nigga had cleats on. And I said, what is this dude doing? Like, he was walking back with cleats on. He's like, oh, I'm playing football. Huh? I'm like, nigga, you got me at your disposal. You just gonna go out there and just raw dog it like that? Like, you ain't do no prep work. Like, the nigga just went right out there and started playing. Like, whatever. But when I came to the game last week, I got soaked. He had 2 sacks and I say about 8 tackles. And didn't play like the first, which I had. Y'all was 3 games into the season, or y'all was 2 games?
We was 3 games into
Yeah, they was 3 games into the season, and he just popped up and went crazy. You know what I mean? I was impressed. You know what I mean? Because to be able to do something like that right off the rip, he started, came right in there, made an impact. You know what I mean? But as I was just trying to tell him not too long ago, he did it once, but can you do it repeatedly? You know what I mean? Because the guy he's sitting next to, you know what I mean? Big bro went on a crazy run, and this ain't about me or nothing like that, you know what I mean? But I'm saying I got proof. I got articles and shit like that a month straight. When the stats that he had last week, I did that for about a month straight. You know what I mean? So I told him like, you can do it one time, but can you keep doing it? You know what I mean? Do you think you're capable of repeating this performance?
I feel that I am capable.
Are you confident that you can do that though?
Yeah, I'm confident.
Because it's one thing to think that you can do it, but you got to know that you can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would say for me, what fueled me to do that was I just felt underestimated. So my whole senior year before the season started, like mommy had this gym membership, or was it Uncle Curtis? One of them. I think it was Uncle Curtis. They had a gym membership. It was Uncle Curtis. You know what I mean? He a big black nigga. I was black. So I use his gym membership. My uncle had a gym membership that he never used. I go to the gym, I hit a drink, I go in, and the picture would pop up, and they couldn't tell us apart. And I was able to work out like that for 2.5 months till one day somebody finally looked and was like, "Yo, that's not you." And then I wasn't able to go no more, or whatever the case may be. But I get right out of school at 3. I take the 20 right down, go to what was it called at the time? I can't remember what the gym was called, but I'll go right down there and I'll work out for about 45, 50 minutes. Then I'll come catch the special. Other motherfuckers weren't doing that, but my mom in the shower, if you hear some water running or whatever, but like this shit, it's going to be a little unconventional, but that's what make this special. You know what I mean? Like it take time to grow into something great. And I'm not ashamed of that. You know what I mean? So we going to get on this real shit, like, because I believe myself to be a real nigga. You know what I mean? So we just gonna give it to you real. But going to you, like, what inspired you to play sports in the first place?
Or inspired me to play sports?
Mm-hmm. And speak confidently. You know what I mean? Let us know what's up, man.
Yeah. So like, what inspired me to like play sports going up? This like I traced this back to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was just in gym, regular class, playing their sports and stuff. And so I do it, but then the teachers will like always ask me like, do you play any sports? You feel like you got like a natural talent to you? And so I think about it too. And then I always have this competitive aspect to me as well. So that competitiveness in gym is just like transformed. And then the one day, this is in the 6th grade, we was playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Trash talk happens. But it was like after that day, I'm like, I want to take this seriously. And so basketball was that first sport that I took seriously, and just it went on from there, and I became an athlete.
So
Like,
he wanted to smoke is basically what he's saying. You know what I mean? And I could appreciate that. What I say for me, that what actually got me into sports is one of my grandmother. I said one of my grandmother's ex-husband. His name was Vernon. The nigga died some years ago, or whatever the case may be. Fuck that nigga though. He forget that dude, man. He was whatever. But he was the first one to put a football in my hands. He introduced me to football and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up being like interested in football in the first place, because he taught me how to throw a football. And that's what made me interested. And he used to have me watching games. Dude was like, you know what I mean? We come back from church and he'd take his big old bucket of KFC back to the room. Now this dude was crazy. Dude would go get about a 25 piece chicken and go in the room and eat it by himself. So it's like we all came from church and all he was worried about was himself. So he'd go to KFC, get him a big bucket, and he'll turn the game on and I'll watch it. And then I just fell in love with it since. But I was real fat as a kid. So starting off, I wasn't really that good. I couldn't make weight and stuff like that. Every time I went to like try out for a team and stuff like that, I never could make the weight. So I wasn't able to join like an actual team till I was like about like 11, 12. And I always had to play a pound up because I always weighed too much. So if you was like 11 and 12 was supposed to be on a certain level, I was playing with the 13, 14, 15-year-olds because I was the same weight as them. So that's how it went for me. And I would say in life in general, like what inspires you in your life, like overall, just like sports aside, like what inspires you to like, because you in school, you work, you play sports, you know, that's a lot that you have going on or whatever the case may be. So like it's a lot worse that you could be out here doing. So what inspires you overall, like not sports wise?
what inspires me,
Yeah.
I say is really my family. Like they always preach to me. You always preach to me. Like I want at the end of the day, you want to be successful, live the lifestyle that you want, live a good lifestyle. So that is just I keep that in mind with everything I do, and the end goal is success at the end of the day, and I want to be successful. So that just keeps me inspired, it keeps me going. So
And who? Okay. And if you would say like somebody inspired you, like who would your biggest inspiration be if you would say like
my biggest inspiration.
yeah, like if you had to choose like a person, like it could be celebrity, it could be anybody,
Celebrity.
like your biggest, it don't have to be a celebrity, I'm saying like it could be anybody,
Like,
like
in general.
your
Yeah.
biggest inspiration.
My biggest inspiration. I say my biggest inspiration really got to be my mom.
Okay.
Like she was the one who raised me, but she went beyond just raising as well. Like she really set the standard, and she really wants me to be somebody in life. So, and just looking at her, what she accomplished too, like I appreciate that, and I take that with me. So,
Okay. That's what's up.
of course,
That's what's up. Anything else? Any other like place you pull inspiration from? It could be, like I said, it could be anything. It could be anybody. It could be like, you know what I mean? Any circumstance, something that you went through.
So enough. I say my coaches too. My high school coaches, I definitely get inspiration from them. One in specific, my coach Kiker. That was my JV basketball coach. But like,
Oh, yeah,
he's
a cool guy.
Definitely, yeah. So he really inspires me a lot. But it's more than basketball. Like he gives me like real life advice, helps me out when I have to reach out to him.
And he be on your ass too. Like that's one thing I say about it. Like we have respect for him and stuff like that. Because you know sometimes as family and stuff like that, you get overprotective and stuff like that. Because I'll come to the games, his coach would be right in his face going crazy. But I'm like, yo, that's what he need though. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that because his coach be on his ass because he be wilding sometimes. So he needed that, you know what I mean? So, like, I got a lot of respect for that dude because he actually cared about his players and stuff like that. So, like, I could see why you would say something like that. Yeah. And if I had to answer that question myself, I would say the disrespect was my biggest inspiration. When I first started playing, right, because I wasn't good at the time, so I can admit that. We had a game, and I'll never forget this. We had a game. And one of our best players left his pants at home, his game pants. So you know the coach, because me and Dude was the same size, you know the coach in front of the whole team told me to give him my game pants. So I started crying and shit. I was on like the 130s. I was heartbroken. I'm like, man, no, I was on the 110s. I was heartbroken. He told me I had to get my game pants to somebody, which means I wasn't going to play in the game. But I wasn't going to play anyway because I was on the bench. But I started crying. Then he like, hurry up and give him the pants. We need him. We don't need you. That's what he said in front of the whole team. So I'm just sitting there heartbroken. Now my coach, Rick, who coached me, like, he even coached me. It was crazy how this worked out. Rick was like my first little league coach, and then because his son, we played with his son too. And then when I got to high school, Rick was the JV coach when I got to high school, so he coached me in little league and JV. So Rick ended up giving me an extra pair of pants just so I didn't feel bad. And then after that moment, I was like, oh hell nah. And I was a little kid thinking this. He embarrassed me in front of the whole team. So I said, yo, I will never let anybody ever make me feel like that ever again. And then I just like learned the game. And that season I got better and better even though I didn't play. And it'd be embarrassing because I played like 2 minutes in the fourth quarter and stuff like that. It had been times where like my mom would like buy me socks because it was these tie-dye socks that was real popular back in the day or whatever. And I remember my mom went to just buy me a pair of them, and my uncle getting mad as hell, like, you wasting your money. This nigga not even gonna get in the game. Talking about me like that. And I'm just like, yo, no, I had somebody gave me my pants. I can't get no socks. I'm just like, yo. And then I'm seeing this as a little kid. I said, no. I said, this ain't gonna fly. Ain't nobody gonna let me, I ain't gonna let nobody let me feel like this no more. And I just learned the game. And that's when I started to learn because I wasn't playing. So I'm like, yo, I need to actually learn how to play football. Because when I went to try to play football, I didn't know how to play football. Like, I knew what football was, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand you had to deliver the hit. You know what I mean? You had to be the aggressor. I didn't know that. So I had to learn that. And then once I learned it, it was sky's the limit from there because now I'm practicing mad different positions. I learned mad different positions. So when I got my time, I was smarter than most dudes. Even dudes that was more athletic than me. It was dudes that was faster than me or whatever the case may be. They probably could catch better than me and stuff like that. But they didn't know where they were supposed to be at. You get what I'm saying? They didn't know how to pick up this block. They wasn't selfless like me. I didn't care where I played as long as I was on the field. So I adopted that mindset and I just became better and better and better. Became like a team MVP, won mad awards and stuff like that. So that's what I would say inspired me. You know what I mean? Then like, so now with you being a senior, right? I told you this 4 years was going to go by quick. I used to tell this dude when he was like a freshman or before he started high school, I'm like, yo, them 4 years going to go by so fast. Because people used to say that to me all the time and I never like paid it no attention. Like high school go by so quick. And what are your plans for the future? You know, most people, it's this thing where you gotta go to college. That's how most people see it, or whatever the case may be. So do you see yourself going to college, or is there another route for you that you want to take? Enlighten me, you know, because sometimes when I ask you about this, you don't really say much, or whatever the case may be. So like, what's on your mind right now? Let the people know.
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say I definitely do plan on going to college. Like I really want to pursue a physical therapy career. Because I've been looking at that a lot. I feel like I'd have a passion for it too.
And that'd be good because your ass stay injured. So,
yep.
You know what I mean? That make a lot of sense because you learn a lot of stuff about how to take care of yourself because this boy stay hurt. I'm talking about this boy back, knee, ankle. Like, don't get me wrong, he still plays sports and stuff like that, but this boy be tore up, yo. Like,
be battling injuries every single season.
This boy stay hurt. So, I mean, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Definitely. And I just want to tell you, ain't nothing ever going to be easy. You know what I mean? There's a point in college where I almost flunked out. I had some personal stuff that I was going through and stuff like that when I was at Buff State. You know what I mean? One semester I did horrible. Like, that was my last chance the next semester or I was going to be flunked out or whatever the case may be. And I dug deep and I got it done. You know what I mean? So I just want you to know if something happened in life or just academic wise that you don't give up. You got to keep going. You know what I mean? Because you're capable of doing that. So everything ain't always going to be perfect. Everything ain't always going to go your way. But are you strong enough to keep going? That's what's going to be the test of you as a man as you get older and older and older. Because a lot of people quit when things get hard or when things don't go their way. You know what I mean? The statistics were stacked against us from day one. Now, I will say that you lived a different life from me. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I did grow up rougher than you. You know, that's the honest truth. Like, when I grew up, you walked down the wrong street, you was getting your ass beat. I'm just telling the truth. You know what I mean? Now these kids, they just go to the store, they going around everywhere. And it's still stuff going on out here, so don't get me wrong. But when I grew up, you walk down the wrong street, you wore the wrong color, you get your ass beat. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go to like Carolina and stuff like that for a little bit. You know, you got to go to like a nice school down there and stuff like that, you know. So I would just say, like, stuff look different for everybody, but as a young black man growing up, like, we both grew up without a father, you know what I mean? So the odds already stacked against you from that standpoint. They expect you to fail just off of that alone. So you always got to keep going, no matter what, you know what I mean? So that's just what I want. That's just what I want you to know. And don't ever give up, even when it get hard, you know? And then as far as basketball, he got basketball too, because what you track, basketball, he a multi-sport athlete, you know what I mean? Me, I wasn't doing no track. There's no way in hell. Like, I get shin splits all the time and stuff. Like, I couldn't run like that. Like, there's no way I'm doing all that nonstop running and doing all that other stuff. So, like, basketball, that'll probably be the last sport of your high school career, right?
It'd be track.
It'll be track? You still got another track season after that?
Yeah.
Okay, so basketball, you know, I'm looking forward to see what he do this year, because I feel like he be getting better and better, but I feel like this is the year where his team really gonna need him to be more consistent, right?
Definitely.
Like, they're gonna need him to be more consistent and for him to not let his emotions take over so much, you know, because sometimes he get a little heated and it take him out his game, you know what I mean? You got to channel that passion in the right way. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not playing your best, that got to be motivation to play your best. Like, when he not having his best game, sometimes he shut down. Like, I can tell from going to all his games how his game gonna go just by the first quarter. Like, I always could tell by his body language when I'm watching his game if he gonna have a good game or not. Like, when I see him, like, before the game and warm-ups and stuff like that, like, I could just look at, like, his body language. I'd be like, yo, he not gonna play good today. Like, I could just see it. And then, like, the way, like, because, like, he just wear his emotions on him, you know what I mean? So, like, some people might say I do or whatever the case may be, but, like, when I got out there, I just felt like I let all of it go. Where he wears it on him, so it's like I can just already tell when he not gonna have a good game. And then when he does have a good game, he get into that zone, and it's like I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because, like, it's a certain zone that you get into. Like, when you get hot, you just get into a zone where it's just like an out of body experience, right? Definitely. And it's like he has his moments where he has those games, and then he has those other games where even his teammates and stuff just be looking at him like, Deon, what the fuck is you doing? Like, it be times where it's like they need a bigger game from him, and he just, like, don't be there. Like, he just be like out of it, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you a senior, this your last season, I need you to be there every single game. Like, we gonna have our little pep talks and stuff like that, like we always do, but I need you to be there, like, mentally, like, every game, like, because this is going to be the last season, you know what I mean? You don't get these games back. So I need you to be there mentally, because when you're there mentally, that's when you at your best. And like I said, it's all about being consistent. You can do something once, you can do it twice, but can people count on you to do it all the time? That's what really matters. And that's what makes you a leader, you know what I mean? And that's what could take you to the next level. Because I always try to say to young athletes, even when I coach, you never know who's watching. Like, it could be scouts there looking at another player, and then you could play so good, they'd be like, oh, who this number for this school and stuff. That's what I always try to say. Like, you got to watch your behavior. You got to watch if you're being coachable or not. You got to watch your attitude, how you talking to the refs and stuff like that, because you never know who's watching. A scout could be there for somebody else, and then you could take over based on your performance. That's what I want you to understand. So you got to be present, be in the moment, and show out. You know what I mean? He done went through mad different hairstyles, his whole different, like, I still got the videos when he was like a freshman and sophomore. He had the little cookie bush,
box cut.
And then he go from box cut to braids and whatever the hell this is on top of his head. What is those?
These braids. I had the dreads last
Yeah,
year.
he had dreads. Now he got braids. Now, like, the nigga just be all over the place. Like, the kids these days just do anything. You know what I mean? Like, when I was growing up, I just had me my little wave cut, and that's what I went with. I used to get the little part, and that was me for like the whole time. I didn't stop getting a part in my head till I was like 24. I'm not even gonna lie. I got to a point where I was just like, nigga, you too old to be getting a part in your head. That, like, you know what I mean? But you, like my other little brother, he getting all type of dreads. He done dyed his hair red, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like this guy, he got his little nose piercing. He got hand tattoo, all type of stuff. Like a 2K created player. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these kids these days. They express themselves differently, or whatever the case may be. So interested to see what his hair is going to look like for this upcoming season. Because knowing him, who knows? You know, you're gonna keep it dark, right?
Yeah.
Dark black, right?
I'm not dyeing my hair again.
Oh yeah, because he did dye his hair. So and what color was that?
It was like a blonde, kind of like blonde.
Blonde. A dark skinned nigga with blonde hair. Yo, I done seen it all. You know what I mean? What I want you to talk about too, you know, give the people a little insight about our relationship as brothers. Like, how would you say our relationship is?
Like our relationship, yeah. So like we definitely got that brother relationship too, as y'all could tell. But like it's like more to it though. Like it's like he's my brother, but he had to step up and play that father role for me. Cause like once again, we ain't grow up with no dad, so it's like he had to be that father for himself. But being the older brother for me, it's like he didn't want me to go through what he had to go through too. So he did his best, step up as a father for me. Play that father role, yeah. So he did that, taught me the lessons he learned growing up. He was just being that person for me. So there's like father and son influences there too. But that's really how it is on a deep level, and I appreciate that too. So
no doubt.
So definitely.
Anytime. And then it's crazy too because a lot of people he be in denial. That's why I asked him what he felt like about our relationship as brothers, because he be in denial about like the similarities and stuff like that, because there's been people who've been like, yo, y'all really the same person, or y'all look just alike, y'all got the same mannerisms, or whatever the case may be. He don't see it. In his mind, we don't look alike. I don't know how he think that. We be having like the same little weird laugh. Like it's strange, it's weird. One of my old coworkers that I used to work at one of the schools with, work at his school, text me one time. It was like, yo, I met your brother today. Y'all laughed the same. It's weird. I was like, yeah, that was crazy. He was like, I met your brother today. Y'all laughed just alike. It's so weird. That was just funny as hell to me, because like we do a lot of the same things. Like he do this thing like where he laugh, like he'll look down real quick, and I kind of do the same thing, or whatever the case may be, or like kind of like what he just did right there. Like when we talk, we'll look at you real quick, but then we turn our head real quick. Like we don't stare into people's eyes. Like when we having a conversation and stuff, it's like I look and then it's like I go back straight. Or see, we just did the same thing. You put your head down, you laugh. I just did the same thing, or whatever. And I forgot what my man Tristan said last week, or whatever the case may be, but he was like, yo, that's crazy. Y'all really the same person, just without the hair, or whatever the case may be. But we do a lot of the same stuff. Like I tell him too, like I notice like when he go out in public, he be real bothered. Like this dude be real uncomfortable out in public. Like, I don't know why he like that, but I'm kind of the same way. Like when I go out in public, I always feel like people be staring at me, or whatever the case may be. Definitely. So it's like, if somebody look at me for a second too long, I consider that staring, and it bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, and he's kind of the same way. Like the big crowd, like he walk fast as hell in public. So do I. I walk real fast, and it was just funny because I went to the Bills game. I think it was last week with someone or whatever, and when we was walking through the crowd or whatever case, she even said she was like, man, you walk so fast or whatever the case may be. So that's not even something I was doing like on purpose or whatever. That's just what I do. Like, I don't know, being around like big ass crowds, and it's crazy because I go to football games, basketball games, concerts all the time, but it's just like being in public, it just be something that just make me uneasy about that. I don't know. I'm just a homebody, you know what I mean? So it's like I could get real uncomfortable like real quick, and I go out in public and stuff all the time, but it's just like I can't explain it. Like when it's like if it's like a mall or like a grocery store or something like that, I feel real bothered for some reason. Like I don't know why. Like I can't explain it. Like it's just a feeling, but he be in denial or whatever the case may be, like being like me is a bad thing or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't get this guy, like, especially looking like me too. Like, how is that a bad thing to look like me? You know what I mean? They be saying, they were saying, I've been getting comparisons to, Kane Tejada from Power. You know what I mean? They been saying I look like Kane. I've been getting the nigga from Snowfall. I don't know. He always gonna be Franklin to me. Like, I don't know what his real name is. He always gonna be Franklin Safe to me. He played that role so well. I don't know that nigga real name, but I feel like they should be grateful to be in the same conversation as me, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because it's not too many dark skinned guys, that be putting in that work, bench pressing about two. I'm just playing, I'm just talking, but this guy act like it's a bad thing to look like Big Bro or to act like Big Bro. I don't get him. You know what I mean? He be in denial. Anytime somebody say it, he just don't agree. I don't get it. Like, why you be hating on me like that? Like, what's up with that? You want to speak on that?
Oh, this was a question. Why I be in denial?
Yeah, like why you being so denial like it's a bad thing?
Bro. Now I don't do it as if it's a bad thing. I just don't be seeing it.
How though?
I just really
how though?
don't
Like,
see
look
it.
at us. Like, what you mean? Like, we look exactly. Look at your chin. Look at my chin. Look at your nose. Look at my nose. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what you mean? We look exactly alike. I just look better.
Not absolutely not.
I just look
absolutely not.
I look better than
No,
you.
you don't.
I look better.
No, you don't. Right?
Mommy right there. Mom, who look better out of me and this guy? And I know, Mom, who look better? You ain't
not
got
your bias.
Who look better, me or who look better, me or this guy? Come on now.
Are you taking this guy or are you taking me?
Let her
sleeve in a hand tap.
What that got to do with anything?
I look better.
What that got? Let her answer the question.
Okay, she's
hey, no, you can't do that because the people waiting. You
I
can't
know.
walk
I respect
away. I'm
that
serious.
Too. I respect.
No,
that
you got to answer. You got to answer the question. The people waiting.
That's pressure.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You're pressuring.
The people want to. I didn't tell her who to choose. I just said the people want her to choose.
Plead the fifth.
Wow, that's
a business decision. That's a business decision.
See how I get done out here. Like, people act like giving me my flowers is such a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. He don't want to admit he look like me. She know I'm the best looking out of her three sons, and she don't want to say, huh?
Cap.
Oh, see what I mean? These young kids, like, man, I'm the GOAT, all right, and you like, what's a baby goat? What they call those? You don't know?
No.
You're supposed to be smarter than that. Come on now.
What's a baby goat?
Yeah, what's a baby? I don't know, but I'm just messing around, just playing with little bro or whatever the case may be, just picking with him or whatever the case may be. But he got a game tomorrow. I'm expecting a big performance because I'm going to be right there on the sideline. Normally, I don't bother him, but this season, I'm going to bother him because he a senior and I want him to play at his best. I bothered you many times last week, and that's something I normally don't do. Like, I normally let his coaches coach him, especially with basketball. I don't say nothing to him during his basketball games. Like, I try to say something, but he don't be wanting to look at me and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. But with football, I get away with a little bit more because the field is longer, and sometimes the coaches be having their backs turned doing other stuff. I coached before, so I don't be wanting to overstep. So I always make sure, like, none of his coaches talking to him or anything like that when I do talk to him and give him pointers. But it's just like when I'm watching a game and I'm just seeing stuff, I'm just like, yo, I can help you with that. You know what I mean? So do this, do that. And I was telling you that last week or whatever. I'm like, yo, go rush at your angle. Stop rushing up the field. You know what I mean? You taking yourself out to play, little stuff like that. And little stuff like that actually be going fire, though, because he'll listen, and he had mad pressures and stuff like that last week or whatever the case may be. So if he ain't doing something right tomorrow, or if it's something he can be doing better, I'm going to let him know because I want you to perform at your best. Because it's senior year. What you mean? You know what I mean? I left you alone long enough. You know what I mean? Like, this is the time where I'm going to demand more from you, and I don't care if you get mad or not. You know what I mean? Before in the past, he always get mad and stuff like that. Whatever the case may be, who gives a damn? You know what I mean? Like, you got to hear the truth at the end of the day. Like, if you're not playing at your best, I'm going to tell you about it. Like, to get you to play better. Now, that's going to show me if you got that dog in you or not. If you can take it. You know what I mean? Like, if I tell you you can do something better, you got to respond and do it better. If you're going to get an attitude, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. All right. And I say that like humbly. You know what I mean? Like this is all I do is just watch sports all the time. I played it, I coached it. So if I tell you something, it's for your benefit. You know what I mean? And last week you played well, but can you do it again? And then can you do it again? And then can you do it again? Because that's what it's all about in life. It's about being consistent. Anybody can do something every once in a while. What they say, a broke clock is right twice a day or something like that. I think that's how the saying go. So it's like, come on, man. You gotta be consistent. That's all that's about. I want the best for you. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see the man that you grow into as you're gonna keep just looking more and more like me. You know what I mean? Like the older you get, the more you just gonna look like me. You know what I mean? Hopefully one thing you didn't get from me, the boy can't rap. You know what I mean? So I don't know about that. Like he plays sports like I played sports. He's a better basketball player than I was. I'll give him that. Like I was like a fat, short center. Like I was like 5'11" playing center. This nigga like 6'3". So there you go right there. I mean, all you gotta do is put the ball right back up. Like I had to wrestle with niggas to get a rebound. This boy just grabbed it like that. But he can't rap or whatever the case may be. So that's one of the things he
you
can't.
Never heard me rap before.
Oh, can I hear something then? We're gonna put him on the spot. He said I never heard him rap.
You never heard me rap
So
before.
can I hear a little something? I don't care if it was, you know what I mean? It could be a freestyle, it could be something you already wrote.
On the next episode, y'all go.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta do it right now. You gotta do it right now.
Never heard me. All right.
Come on.
You got it.
See?
You got it.
The boy froze up. The boy had his moment and he froze. He got stage fright. He ain't get the boy just froze up. That's crazy. I just handed you the mic and you froze up. That's crazy, you know what I mean? But he can't spit like me. So he might be a better basketball player. He might be faster. He might be taller, but he don't look better and he can't rap better. So that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? I'm nice with them words, you know? So it is what it is. You can't have everything. You can't be better at everything. You know what I mean? And two things he would just never be: more handsome than me and a better rapper. Like that's just that. You know what I mean? I would say a football player too. You know what I mean? But you know, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't do that. I'll leave that up to this guy. You know what I mean? He's the cockiest. Like he get on here, he try to talk all proper and try to be like, you know, all PC and stuff like that. But this dude is cocky as hell. He think he the best at everything under the sun. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell him nothing. He think he know everything. He think he the best at everything. You know what I mean? But I admire the confidence. You know what I mean? Just know that there's always something to learn and improve from. You get what I'm saying? But it's two things that you will never be able to improve on. And what's that? Looking better than me.
I already did.
And rapping better than me. That's two things you
already rapping, but the looks I already got that.
Huh?
I already spasted. I already spasted.
Yo.
I clearly look better. So.
Rate this guy from 1 to 10 and then rate this 10. You see that right there? Your scale is from 1 to 10. My scale start at 10. We on a different.
Nah, you really tooting your horn a little too much.
We are two different. You know what I mean? Okay. But it's always good to have something to aspire to. You get what I'm saying? Because improvement in life is good. So you always can think like, even when you start feeling yourself and start accomplishing stuff, you can just always stop and think like, I don't look as good as my big brother. You know what I mean? I always got something to work on. You know, like. Because you about to go out here, get your license, about to do other stuff. You might get a beard. I don't know. Because we dark skin. It take a long time for stuff like that. So I don't know. Like you might get a mustache before you get a beard, to be honest. Them yellow niggas, I don't know. Them niggas be having beards at 15 or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It just, whatever the case may be. I be telling them too, like people in Buffalo can't drive. Don't rush to get your license. Every time I be in a car with them and something happen, what I say? I'd be like, bro,
just say, don't rush to get your license.
I try to
this stuff overrated.
I try to tell him that all the time. You know what I mean? But he should end up being a good driver. Hopefully, we'll see about that. You paying for driving school too? Because yeah, that's what I did. If my mom teach him how to drive,
she's not teaching me how to
drive. All right, good. Cause
that already got discussed.
Yeah, get ready to pay that. Get ready to pay that fee, buddy. But Hey, man. About to wrap the episode up. This is pretty much one of the longest episodes I ever did. I normally keep it between like 15 and 20 minutes. We have 40 minutes right now. So I'm going to cap it off. You know what I mean? But I have fun doing this. You know what I mean? I normally, and it's crazy because I normally can talk about multiple sports teams within 20 minutes or whatever the case may be. But this was like a real good discussion or whatever the case may be. But at some point, it got to end. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You can't just keep going on or whatever the case may be. So what I like to do is I like to have a segment at the end of it where it's called open mic, where I just like give like some thoughts or some words about what I'm feeling or try to give a little bit of inspiration or whatever. So for you, if you had like some inspiring words to people or some words of motivation or encouragement to people, what would you say to them from your point of view? And you just talking like, if you had to give somebody some motivation or something like that, what would you say?
What I'd really say is just don't let nobody be able to determine or tell you what you're really capable of doing. Because at the end of the day, that's up to you. No matter what you want to do, no matter how hard or how like easy it may be, it's all up to you. Don't let nobody determine what you're capable of. Don't let nobody put that in your head because it's your life. You're built for it. You could do whatever you put your mind to. So just keep working at it, stay consistent, and just don't let nobody dictate what you're able to do. It's all up to you.
Look at that boy talking that shit. Where do you think he got that from? You know what I mean? Where do you think he got that from? But that was very wise of you. You know what I mean? You 17 sounding about 47 right there. You know what I mean? So that was great. And for me, I would say like it was something Nipsey Hussle said. Never let a hard time humble us. And what I would say about that is to anybody that's going through a rough time, don't let that change like who you is at the end of the day, because you got to keep going. I think perseverance is a thing that a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit for. And that's all of us. That's not just one of us. Like everybody done had dark days and went through stuff that they overcame, that they be overlooking at times, because there's a lot of people who look at things from a pessimistic point of view instead of being optimistic. So like they can only see the negative in everything, but not the positive, you know? So sometimes you got to give yourself credit for the days that you made it through, that you probably didn't think that you was able to make it through. You know what I mean? Like it could be something small, like you normally don't make your bed or something like that. And you woke up one day and made your bed and then it made you feel better. Stuff like that. Give yourself more credit for the small wins. And also like kind of what he said, you just got to keep going. Don't let nobody else determine your path, like he said as well. But my message always going to be to people to keep going, because we all go through shit. Like we black, most of us, you know what I mean? Life just hard as hell. You know what I mean? Whether that be from a personal aspect, an employment aspect, academic aspect, a financial aspect. It could be family related. It could be emotional. It could be physical. It could be relationships. You know what I mean? Like, just keep going. You know, that's all I could say to anybody, because even things that look like a loss right now, if you just keep going, eventually you're going to be victorious, because the only difference between most people and others is some gave up and others didn't. That be the most distinguishing quality sometimes between people. It ain't, sometimes you might look at people that's in a better position than you, or that may appear to be like they happier than you, or whatever the case may be. And the only thing that they did that was different from you is that they didn't quit when stuff got hard. They ain't better than you, or think they better than you even, or had it easier than you and stuff like that. Because a lot of people look at people like that, you know, and they think like they had everything easy or whatever the case may be, and everything just so perfect. And no, it's just some people, even though they felt like shit or feel like shit, they just kept going. That's why I told you during here, you always got to keep going, no matter what. Until the next time, peace and love. Hopefully this boy bought tomorrow. Because if he don't, y'all going to hear about it on the next episode. I can't have a bad game from you. Giants play on Sunday. Hopefully we win. You know what I mean? But you play bad and the Giants play bad. Probably won't do another episode for about 3 weeks. I ain't going to lie to y'all. So we'll see what happens, man. But like I said, peace and love to everybody. Till the next time.